12 years ago, I lost my real voice to Insecurity. What did I used to sound like? How did I get here? Well, I'll tell you. Hey, I'm GRUFF, formerly Bones. Today I'm here to talk about my voice. Again!
Stop making that surprise face, it's so annoying.
If you're new, I have a disorder called mutational falsetto or puberphonia. I feel like mutational falsetto is more to the point and is less confusing. Up to this point, I've discussed the basics of the disorder, my experience with speech therapy. Also, I shared a short clip of what my real voice sounds like, given its weak and without much training, but alas, if you aren't up to date, please watch the other videos on this topic. I'll link them down below. Growing up, I had a much closer relationship with my nana and my mother. This is because my father and my papa had to work to support the family, and so I naturally spent more time with my mother and my nana. In school, I got along best with the girls in my class. Most of my friends were girls. I mentioned this previously, as I felt a lot more hesitant to talk to the men, and I'll get more into that. But being friends with predominantly women allowed me to get a better understanding of them, but as a result, I started to understand myself less. I became insecure about things that were very natural about myself, things like body hair, face shape, and my voice, who would have guessed, and even other things like my hands, my Adam's apple, and just like any trait that I considered an outlier became an insecurity. So I started to change significantly as a result in order to fit in. Having a lack of support beyond the internet has been difficult. Family members of mine would make comments about my voice, even more than I would, which was almost never. They'd even make jokes about it. I've always said that made me uncomfortable because of how sensitive the topic was, and I was told to find a new family, but also been told that I can flip my register at any point and that no one's stopping me, but they don't seem to understand why I have such a hard time with it, and I can't expect that from someone who hasn't lived my experience. I very vividly remember a conversation I had with a family member in a coffee shop regarding my voice when I was around, I don't really remember, but it was around like 15, 16 probably, which eventually became an interrogation on, do you want to be a girl and do you want to cut your off, all because of my voice. Ultimately, I stormed out of that coffee shop crying. With calling home, it was incredibly uncomfortable. I was being interrogated by something I already didn't understand, already was uncomfortable with. I don't really need to get into why this was inappropriate, and initially this felt irrelevant to bring up. However, I think it paints a pretty good picture as to why this is such a touchy subject for me, why I have such a difficult time talking about it, and why this has been so vulnerable for me to do this. In the past, this topic has come up in very, very interesting, to say the least, ways beyond places I choose to prompt this dialogue, which is here, this channel. For example, I feel more safe to do so because I have more control over the narrative. It is my narrative at the end of the day. I vividly remember ordering at shops and having to repeat myself over and over and over and being told to speak up because I couldn't get words out and because I couldn't just say the thing I needed to say, which felt so simple to everyone else, but not to me. And it was so frustrating, but also felt so beyond my control, but also in my control. It was just a lot. I've touched on feeling like I don't feel like I can relate to the men around me and that I've had a difficult time with my gender identity. I feared my male classmates in school, my coworkers at work, and even strangers that I've never met. If I just pass by them, I assume they have ill intentions. I've always been aware of the differences between me and them, especially in regards to how I sound and how I present and my mannerisms, the things I picked up over time from the environment that was so different to my peers. At the end of the day, they would treat me differently and I would be aware of it. And a lot of times my suspicions were correct. They did have ill intentions for me. Despite having an easier time navigating relationships with women, I feel like I still don't fit in there, and I feel like I still am different. I'm aware of that. It's very, very prevalent. Growing up, I was very resistant to social expectations, but over time, once you grow up, it becomes a lot harder to avoid being the odd one out and sticking out like a sore thumb. Naturally, I became more aware of my masculinity and became more insecure about it. I felt a disconnect between my voice and my physical appearance. I refused to enter a relationship for multiple reasons, but one of them being because of my voice. I grew up to resent my gender identity purely based on stereotypes and what I thought it meant to be a man. I didn't hate being that, but I hated feeling robbed of my self-expression, which has always been very important to me. The way I went about interacting with the men around me have always felt unnatural and uncomfortable. They usually don't take a liking to me because I am, in fact, different. There's no denying that. You can't just get past that. I'm not like them. I am quite odd. Not in a pick-me way, but I held a funeral for my dead moth and my cat killed and put it outside in a Hannah Montana box on the side of the street. kind of way. Also, a niche memory from my childhood I remember that makes a lot of sense now is I was listening to a man talk on a show in my mom's TV in our old apartment. I remember thinking that I didn't want to sound like that and that I didn't like the sound of how rough they sounded, and I was like, I hope I don't sound like that. I hope my voice just stayed the same. It did. Speaking of, here's a comparison of what I sounded like as a kid versus now.
Oh my god, stop! Stop doing what? Draw a face on it. On the face? She just asked me where to draw the face, you know, on its actual face. But my favorite one out of all of them has to be Tango.
Those are really cute though.
Officer Lee raided my cell yesterday and took my watch. Could you get it back? I don't think so.
And how old is that soda?
Kid, I'm not attacking the cop thingies, at least not yet.
Oh my god. Okay, just kill me already. Just kill me already.
Keep off the grass. Oh no, what you gonna do? Nothing. I really need some cash. Well, this is like a workout in real life. I really don't like exercise. Oh yeah, I have a job now. Oh my god, I'm so smart. No!
Music has always had an impact in my life. Before I wanted to make videos and all of what this is, I just never had the confidence to pursue it. I still lack confidence, but I'm better off than I was. I learned over time to mimic my influences, which had both a positive and a negative influence, because on one end, it was good for me to practice in multiple genres and styles and using different techniques. However, this also led to a lot of draining, overuse, and other unhealthy techniques. I would become a chameleon to my surroundings, and in present day, there's a great amount of fear in losing all that I have put in, all the effort and practice over the course of my life. I've become so accustomed to what I'm secure in to the point where it's my downfall. Regarding when I'll be fixing my voice for good, I currently lack the confidence required.
And what gave you the confidence?
Delusion.
I do not feel comfortable making progress in the current circumstances I am in, so I don't. I had a good experience with my speech therapist and would be open to returning when I can. But anyhow, that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching and for tuning into my voice saga over the last few years. It means a lot knowing that you care about this niche topic that I thought no one would. If you want to see more from me, feel free to subscribe. It's free, and if you hate me later, you can always unsubscribe. Like the video, leave a comment, let me know what you think. But yeah, I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Guys, cut the cameras, we're done. In our old apartment. Oh wait, who gave you the confidence? Delusion? I currently lack the confidence required. Sorry. Guys, cut the cameras. Guys, can one of you subscribe? Or don't. I will just... Puberphonia. I don't like that word. It's so ugly. Sorry, I have to speak my truth. Like, mutational falsetto is very to the point. Like, it's not normal and it's high pitch. You know what I mean? What is a puberphonia?